On January 1st of 2025, I made a promise to myself that by the end of the year, I was going to be a full-time day trader slash content creator, and I was never going to have to work a traditional 9 to 5 job for the rest of my life once 2025 was over. I made a YouTube video talking about this, and I made this promise to myself, and I told everyone around me pretty much this would be happening. So today is December 1st of 2025, and the results are in. And unfortunately, I will not be able to quit my job before the end of 2025, but in this video, I'm going to talk about everything that happened, how the year went, and what I can work on to improve so that 2026 actually has a different outcome and I can actually achieve this goal that I've set out. So for the reason I wasn't successful, so I feel like I can't really pinpoint it to one exact reason. I feel like it's all these little things that add up. But one of the things definitely was I felt like I definitely overestimated the amount of money I could make from prop firms because like, yes, this year was my biggest year. I netted like just around $20,000 from prop firms, and my biggest year before that I think was like $8,000 net or something like that. So pretty much though, I've had my biggest year in profits almost by double. But at the same time, I was aiming a lot higher than that. Originally, when I first made that video at the start of the year, right, I was talking about making $5,000 a month from February all the way until November. So that'd be 10 months, and that would be $50,000 of prop firm profit. And honestly, in those first couple months, like I think in February, I think I got paid like 4,000 or something like that. Like honestly, I don't remember the numbers off the top of my head, but I do remember those first couple months in the beginning of the year, I was getting close to my goal, and I'm thinking, oh yeah, well, all I gotta do is add in a couple $1,000s more of income. But then I feel like there was like a month where I had no income, right? And then I feel like I got kind of thrown off after that. And honestly, through the midpoint of the year, though, I feel like my trading did experience a large amount of growth. So honestly, even though like I was so like honestly, for lack of a better word, I was just so hell bent on becoming a profitable trader, right? Well, I was a profitable trader, but like quitting my job and becoming this like crazy trader, right? But at the time, honestly, I feel like I wasn't fully ready yet. Like at the time, I felt ready, but I feel like trading skills wise, there were just these certain mistakes I'd be making that I feel like now I look back on and I'm like, oh no, like I was not ready to managing all these funded accounts. But now, like soon, I'm sure I'm gonna be copy trading 5 top step funded accounts, and I'm not gonna sweat it at all. But back then, I feel like I didn't have the same confidence in my strategy. Where if I took a trade on multiple funded accounts, I'd be sweating essentially. So pretty much I gained a large amount of knowledge this year that I feel like using that knowledge, if I do the same things I did last year, but with this knowledge, I could see a lot better outcome and I could see myself getting a lot bigger payouts pretty much. And speaking of payouts, one thing I think was kind of interesting I observed for myself this year was I feel like a lot of times when I would get these payouts, like, yeah, payouts do need to go to your bills, but I feel like by the time I take out like approximately 30% for taxes, because that's just about how much I save, right? So you're taking 30% off all those payouts as soon as they come in. And then from there, I feel like certain times, like I would use the money from the payout to just pay back what I paid on the eval, if that makes sense. Because there'd be times where my credit card bill would come and I'd be getting a payout because it would just happen that quick, right? So I'd be using the money to pay off evals on my credit card, and then I'd be using the money to pay for my trading expenses too, because like I'd be paying for FX replay and stuff, right? And just general life expenses. Because honestly, like to be 100% transparent, right? Like I work my part-time job at the bank, which like I work at a bank in case you didn't know that, but that gives me currently it gives me benefits, right? And it gives me a little bit of income. I work like just over 20 hours a week, so it's like half of a full-time income, right? So I feel like for me to get my bills paid, I need to at least pull a little bit from my trading income. And one thing that kind of happened throughout the year was on those slow months, like I mentioned before, right? Like there were definitely certain months where I was not getting payouts. On those slow months, I'm essentially pulling from the money that I like need to pay my bills, if that makes sense. So I'm like pulling from my savings account, or it's essentially pulling from money that should be replenished. So I feel like just all these things combined, right, where you're taking out money for taxes, I'm buying more evals, trying to scale up, I have life expenses. Oh, and I recently bought like this setup right here. I kind of upgraded it. You can see like there's a computer over here. I don't even know if it's in frame to be honest, but that's the computer I built. I recently upgraded to this MacBook over here. I don't know if you can see it, but it's hooked up to my docking station, so I don't want to mess with it right now. But like that MacBook was bread. Like I really feel like toward the end of the year, I was finally starting to accumulate some profits from trading. But then like this computer I built over here was starting to give me some issues. And I figured like I've always wanted a MacBook. Like I've always wanted to be able to just have a laptop where I could unplug it, go on vacation and trade on vacation, make like edit content on vacation. I don't know. Just bring my whole setup with me wherever I go because I'm a workaholic. But I mean, the whole point of this video isn't me buying a MacBook. It's more just like expenses kept coming up throughout the year. I'm pulling out money for taxes, and you get the point, right? Like these payouts are not going as far as you'd think they go. Like you hear I netted $20,000. I have no idea where this money went, to be honest. I really have no idea where this money went. Like I'm not even going to go into next year where I'm saying like, oh yeah, well, I wanted to save 50, but I saved 10. Like, no, I'm going into next year saying I got to save 50 again, pretty much. And it's not like I made any stupid purchases throughout the year either. I mean, but that's pretty much just how it is, right? Like I'm betting on myself, right? I'm taking the chance to work a part-time job. So I'm giving myself less income that's guaranteed, and I'm putting a reliance on this income, right? That's not guaranteed. It's pretty much just the nature of trading. So like not anything I would change, to be honest, but something I definitely got to be more mindful of, because like the following year I can't have the same thing happening where these payouts are coming in. But don't get me wrong, throughout the year though, I was scaling up. I was buying bigger account sizes, right? But that's pretty much what happened. But speaking of overestimating, the other thing I overestimated was the amount of money I'd be making off social media, because I feel like my social media has been slowly growing over time. But in my mind at that time back then, I thought like, oh wow, I'll be getting paid from the TikTok creator program, and I'll be getting paid from this, and I'll be getting this. And I feel like, and I thought I'd be monetized, like making money from YouTube by now. I'm still not monetized on YouTube. Like I've been making YouTube videos for like, I mean, it's whatever. I'm not like bent out of shape about this. I know I'll get there eventually. But like I've been making YouTube videos. I think I posted my first YouTube video on this channel April 23rd of 2023. I don't that could be true. Honestly, I'm just guessing. I don't know if that's the exact date. But essentially, I've been making YouTube videos for like, wow, if I started in April of 2023, that's almost 2.5 years now I've been making YouTube videos, still without being monetized. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm definitely getting closer, but essentially, right, so I thought I'd be having this income from social media that I never got, pretty much. Like, TikTok has paid me $0 this year. I post videos, like the TikTok, I don't know if you're familiar with the TikTok creator program. Essentially, all it is I don't even remember. It's been a long time. Like maybe 2 years ago, they changed the way they pay creators, where they say we're only going to pay you for videos that are over 1 minute long, and we're only going to pay you for the views where people watch for longer than 5 seconds, but we're going to pay you really well, if that makes sense. So my kind of niche, like what I was good at, was I was making all these really short videos that were kind of like humorous, like might have some meme, like some trending sound. So I'm using some trending sound. Essentially, these videos are not qualified for the creator program, right? So like as time has gone on, I definitely have started making videos that are longer than 1 minute. Like now I post trade recaps on like TikTok, YouTube, Shorts, like Instagram Reels, right? Like after I finish up live stream, I say, took this trade, this is why I took it, this is why I passed up on this trade, here's my P&L, etc. Right? You get the point. So those videos rarely break 1,000 views, honestly. And then the other videos I'll make, well, like let's say Top Step has a change, I'll be like, Top Step dropped activation fees, guys, and I'll make some video. But it's like even then, like I made some video about Top Step dropping activation fees. I think I got like 5,000 views, and I think I got paid like $1.50. And that's the first video I've gotten paid from on TikTok. Like honestly, what feels like this year. Like I haven't gotten paid from TikTok in forever. Because essentially though, like for those videos, they're only paying you for videos over 1 minute long, and on each video in specific, for you to start getting paid on it, you have to get some baseline qualification of views. And it's like all of my videos aren't hitting those qualifications. And honestly, I know this is totally irrelevant, but honestly, I've heard it from other people. I really feel like TikTok, like once you join that creator program, your 1 minute long videos do worse because they know they're going to have to pay you for it. Like honestly, I've seen it firsthand. Like my videos have done a lot worse lately, and not like it matters. My TikTok is in the drain. Like I used to average so many views, and I fell off. Like it's whatever. Like I feel like my Instagram's been doing a lot better. My YouTube's been doing a lot better, so it kind of evens out. But I really thought the TikTok creator program would be paying me a lot more. And also, I thought I'd be making more money off like affiliate income, right? Because I've been promoting FX Replay for a long time. Like, I mean, full transparency, I guess. Like, why not? I'll tell you guys. I mean, like, there's no reason I guess I can't. I haven't been able to reach the minimum requirement to even get paid for my affiliate stuff with FX Replay. So I've been promoting FX Replay for like 2 years. I haven't gotten paid $1 from that. And then I have started promoting Alpha Futures. They are my favorite prop firm. While on the topic, it would really help me out if you guys could use discount code TimB272 at Alpha Futures. I'm going to put the link down below. They are my favorite prop firm. I'm not just telling you guys this because I get like affiliate commission. I personally trade with Alpha and I think they're a great prop firm. I have a whole video breaking down why I think Alpha Futures is the best prop firm. So definitely check that video out. I'll put it somewhere on screen when I'm talking about this right now. But from Alpha, again, it's like the same story. Like I've made a little bit more money, but it's not like I've made that much money from Alpha. And I feel like in my mind, I always assumed these people on social media, like just for lack of a better word, just shilling affiliate codes, right? They're like, oh my God, guys, go to Alpha, use this code, go to Apex, use this code. I thought they were like racking in bread, honestly. Like, yeah, some of them are. Don't get me wrong. Some of them are. But like, it's not like you're just gonna be a creator with 1.5K followers and then you just start posting videos about Alpha and people are magically like, yeah, I'll spend $1 million at Alpha and get this guy his commission. You know what I mean? But yeah, so I definitely overestimated the impact social media would have in my life because I did in my mind know at the time that saying $50,000 from trading is a little bit of a stretch, but I figured, you know what, whatever I don't make, I can supplement it from social media. And essentially, I've made barely any money from social media this year. And it's not like I'm not trying to be like this like social media guru either. Like recently I have started live streaming on YouTube, which like that is going to help me in the way that well I guess that's getting into what I'm going to change next year. So I'm just trying to think before I get to the next topic, is there anything else I want to go over, like what I could have done better or what happened, I should say. No, I mean, honestly, not really. I really can't think of anything else that happened where I can be like, oh, yeah, this affected me. But I feel like life just happened. Like, life goes by fast. And, like, I feel like each day like I did try my best, but at the end of the day, I just didn't get the results I wanted. And sometimes that's going to happen. Like just because I said it's going to happen by the end of the year, doesn't necessarily mean it has to happen. Like things could come up and get in the way. But the mindset I always have is as long as I don't give up and I keep working at this goal smart, I'm constantly improving. It doesn't matter how long it takes me. Eventually, I'm going to accomplish this goal. And it's like the same thing with anything in life. But now I want to talk about what I'm going to do moving forward to ensure that I do not make these same mistakes again and I don't suffer the same outcome where I still have to be stuck working this job that I hate by the end of next year. Oh, and real quick, one thing I forgot. So another thing I overestimated was the amount of work I could actually get done at night. So imagine like I wake up really early, I go to the gym at 6 o'clock in the morning, I come back home, I'll do some stuff at home, and then I'll trade. I might make a video about my trading session, or I might make some short form content, whatever. I'll do some quick work before I go to work, and then I'll work my part-time job. This is only for a couple days out of the week, but these couple days it's impacting me, right? So let's say I come home from work and let's say it's 7 or 8 by the time I'm finished eating dinner, right? Because I'm come home, gotta change, gotta lie down for a second, gotta eat dinner. Once I'm done with all that, it's 8 o'clock. And if you can imagine, right, if I woke up at 6 in the morning, I already worked out, I already traded, I already did this, I worked my part-time job. Do you really think I want to do more work at 8 p.m.? I feel like all the time I tell myself, like, yeah, you gotta lock in, you gotta utilize every minute of your time, your free time to get out of this job. But at the same time, though, it is so easy to say to yourself, you know what? I worked all day. I feel horrible. I should give myself that rest. And honestly, there's definitely times where your body needs rest. I'm not even saying you should skip out on rest, but a lot of times I would tell myself like, oh, I can accomplish this when I get home. And once I get home, I'm like, oh my God, I am lying down. I'm doing nothing. I'm going to watch some videos or whatever I'm going to do, but I'm relaxing. There's no way I'm still working. And I'm sure a lot of you guys can relate to that. So honestly, I mean, I just overestimated things I can do in a lot of ways. But so what am I changing so that I can actually have a different outcome, right? So the first thing I think I should work on is just giving myself realistic expectations, right? Because I feel like last year I was saying we're gonna make 5K month over month every single month. Honestly, like especially of the person you're asking at that time when I said that, you're not asking of like a goal that's like realistic, to be honest. Like, yeah, being delusional to a point is a good thing, right? Like, you shouldn't say, oh, yeah, I can't do that. I can't make $5,000 a month. Like, I give myself props for saying, yeah, let's get this $5,000 a month. I gave it my all. I gave it close to my all. I'm not saying I gave it 100% my all, but I definitely put a lot of work in there, right? So next year, I want to focus on just making more realistic goals. So a great example of this, though, is instead of saying I want to make $5,000 a month, I could say I want to follow my trading plan all month. I want to just ignore the money, right? I want to look at these trades and say, how did I execute and what could be improved? Ignore the money Am I following my plan? And then I can define a win as following my plan. And from there, kind of the same thing with social media, right? Like, I can't factor in me making income from my social media unless it's like a little bit to help me out here and there. But I'm not going to be reliant on social media income at all. Like, I need to remind myself that I'm a trader before I'm a person that makes videos on social media. Like, I don't want to get to a point where I'm living off social media income. Like, yeah, don't get me wrong. If social media is the only thing paying my bills, I'm not going to be an idiot and say, oh, well, I want to be a trader. But at that point, I still will 100% be working toward transitioning to making it where the majority of my income comes from trading. And essentially, the main thing here is, right, I know I have the skill of trading, right? The main way to scale up is I could have this whole elaborate plan of how I'm going to make more money. But at the end of the day, all it comes down to is I'm going to get a payout next year, right? I'm going to reinvest into more accounts. So let's say if I got a payout on 5 accounts and I end up blowing them, right? Then from there, let's say I'll start trading 8 accounts. And I know it sounds crazy and all, but if I can get a payout on 1 account, I can get a payout on 3 accounts. If I can get a payout on 1 account, I can get a payout on 5 accounts. You get my point here. All you're doing is changing the numbers, right? So like instead of risking 500 per trade, you're now risking 1,000 per trade. So like you're doing the exact same thing, just with its scaling, if that makes sense, right? So I'm not focusing on saying, oh yeah, I want to make this month, because then that's going to give you unrealistic expectations. Because me personally, I know my system has months that are break even. My system occasionally is going to have losing months. And then if I'm following the rules that I set out in my head where I'm saying, oh yeah, I'm not going to be successful unless I make $5,000 a month, right? The market might not give me the opportunities to actually make that. And I can't be sitting here beating myself up saying, oh yeah, we didn't make this 5,000. Honestly, that was something I was doing like this year pretty much a little bit, right? Like halfway through the year, I was saying, oh, I said I wanted to make 5,000 a month. Look at me. I only made 2,000 this month. But at the same time, though, like I was never asking myself, were the opportunities presented? Because like in trading, like people love to think like, oh, I should be like averaging this amount and it should be close to there. But honestly, trading is one of those things where you could have 1 month where you make 10,000 and you make 1,000 the next month. And does that mean you're following your trading plan wrong? Does it mean you're a bad trader? Does it mean you're doing something wrong? No, it doesn't mean any of these things. It means you're following a system that has a statistical variance, right? Like just because you have a 70% win rate does not mean when you take 10 trades, you're going to win 7 of them and you're going to lose 3 of them. Like a 70% win rate is only like you only know that your win rate is in a valid number when you have a large sample size. And you know if you took statistics, you can't draw like a win rate or any conclusions about a data set if that data set is not complete. Like I feel like a great example is in statistics, right? Like you'd say, I have a class of 30 people and I asked the 5 boys in the class what their favorite color is, and 3 out of 5 of them said they like blue, so I think the class liked blue, right? Well, you never asked the girls. You never asked the other boys in the class, right? You took 5 people out of 30, so you're only looking at 1/6 of the sample size of total. Essentially, like, sorry, I didn't mean to bring you guys into like statistics class, into math class, but essentially you get my point here, right? A lot of traders they hear win rate and they just think that they should be following that win rate 24/7. That's not the case at all. It's a common downfall in traders' minds, to be honest. So what are some other things I'll be working on? So honestly, last year, I feel like I say this all the time, but I really don't backtest as much as I should. And I honestly, recently, I've done a lot of backtesting. Like I backtested a whole 6 months of my strategy, and I really liked the results I got. I think I actually did 8 months. It was definitely over 6 months though, but I know I should get to a year. I feel like me personally, I'd be telling people like, for you to be confident in your model, you should go back test a full year. So I'm kind of being a hypocrite saying, oh yeah, I tested my strategy for 6 months, but it's just annoying sometimes. And it's annoying too when it's like, I can look in live time and say, oh yeah, I was green this month. I'm doing great trading. But then I got to sit here and do this back testing. Like even in like the highest levels of sports, right? The best athletes, it's not like they stop practicing, right? But at the same time, I feel like trading is one of those things where it's like How much am I going to practice though, if you know what I mean? Like, I feel like there is a point of diminishing return, but at the same time, I can't use that as an excuse to not backtest. So essentially, I just got to do a little more backtesting. That's all the outcome of this is. And in that backtesting, I could look and see if there's any improvements in my strategy, because I can never say my strategy is 100% the best and there's no improvements that can be made, because there's always improvements that could be made. But I mean, there's also over sharpening an edge. Have you ever heard that? Which pretty much means you're going too crazy trying to refine it. And there is like a mid ground. But essentially, like, I'll do my best to refine my edge. But honestly, I plan on trading the same model because I do like the results I'm getting. And I just plan on to make more money. Like, because last year I feel like I said I'm going to make $5,000 a month without a clear plan. Like in my mind, I knew I would scale, I would do this, but it wasn't set in stone exactly what I'd do. Right now, how I'm going to increase my income is I'm going to keep trading the exact same way that I am right now because I know it's profitable over time. I have backtesting results to prove it to me. I have data over my live trades, my journal, right? This all proves to me. I have a strategy that works. So essentially what I'll be doing is just increasing my size. So like right now, I'm trading 3 Top Step Express funded accounts and I'm looking to pass 2 combines on the side. So I still haven't got a payout from these. So usually I like to not trade accounts together if I've gotten a payout from one set because it's just weird to get moved to live, if you know what I mean. But um so I want to pass those 2 combines, get a 5 stack of funded accounts because Top Step and my funded futures, they allow you to trade 5 stacks. And at this point, I'm not trying to pay for Trade Syncer, but I do know further down the line, I'm probably gonna have to trade 5 my funded futures accounts and 3 of futures accounts, and I'll do them on Tradeovate, and that will allow me 8 accounts total, and I'll just copy trade them all together. And from there, I'll probably move on to Tradeify because they allow Tradeovate. The only thing is, like, Top Step doesn't allow Tradeovate, so that's the weird thing. I mean, if I ever wanted to trade Top Step still, I'd have to enter on 2 different platforms. But essentially, though, main point here, right? I'm going to be scaling up what I'm doing, and I'm not going to be blind. Like, I'm not going to be sitting here looking for every single way to improve my strategy, but I'm also not going to be blind and acknowledge there could be improvements that could be made. And if there's something just sticking up my face, I'm like, wow, this is so obvious. Why do I keep making this same mistake? I will definitely make changes to my strategy. But essentially, scaling is my way out. So I feel like it's time to start wrapping everything up. So essentially, what am I going to do coming into this year to make sure things are not the same? So like I just talked about before, I'm going to be scaling my accounts. I'm going to be seeing if there's any way to improve my strategy. I'll be doing more back testing. I'll be focusing on putting realistic expectations on myself. And I'm just not going to give up. Like I talked before, right? It doesn't matter how long it takes you to achieve a goal. As long as you never give up at actually achieving that goal and you're constantly improving, eventually in time, you're going to achieve that goal. Everyone has their own timelines. There's a lot of people that say, oh yeah, it took you over a year to become a profitable trader, you're cooked. Or it took you over 2 years, you're cooked. Or whatever they're saying, right? Like, everyone has their own different timeline. Just because it's taking you longer doesn't mean you should give up, doesn't mean you should become discouraged. If anything, it makes your journey even more that great. Because then when you're a profitable trader, like, you learned all these things in your journey. You learned you shouldn't do this. You shouldn't do this. You learned everything you should not do. So you now know the things you should be doing because you have all this experience. And that one guy that came up quick, yeah, he might be a quick learner, but it's also possible there might be lapses in his knowledge. So just because someone came up quick and you see them making crazy money now, does not mean it's going to stay this way forever. I've seen traders that think they're the best trader in the world, and they start getting these crazy losing streaks, and they can't handle it, and they just blow all their money, and they give up on trading. Believe me, it happens. But if you guys do want to follow along for this journey, make sure you subscribe. And I also do live trade Monday through Friday for New York AM session. I normally start around 9:30. Sometimes I start like 9:45 or 10, depending on the economic news. But I do post my stream schedule on my Instagram story and in my free Discord, which is going to be in that pinned comment down below. So definitely pull up to one of those free live streams. I'd be happy to have any of you guys come through. You can ask me as many questions as you want. I think I give a lot of value. Every stream does start with I do a bias coming into the session, and I trade the session. At the end, I do a review. I go over the trades I took, why they worked, why they didn't. I go over the trades I passed up on, why I passed up on them, and I pretty much just review the market as a whole. So honestly, there's tons of value, and I'm happy to give it to you guys. So definitely pull up those live trading sessions. Oh, and also, last thing with those sessions, if you do miss the sessions, I post the recording of every single session immediately after. So let's say if you have worked during those times, you can watch the recording later in the day. So tons of value. Definitely check that out. And also, if you're looking for a prop firm to trade with, my favorite prop firm is Alpha Futures. I'm going to put that link in that pinned comment as well as my discount code, which is code TIMB272. It's going to get you 10% off all evaluations or where the best current discount is. So I highly recommend checking out Alpha Futures. I personally traded them myself, and also join the free Discord in that pinned comment. But if you watch this video all the way through, I really appreciate it. I would also really appreciate it if you give me a like, put a comment down below, and also subscribe. And I also just hope you have a great day.